If your N8N webhooks are not secured, you might end up with data leaks or very costly surprises. In this video I will show you how you make your webhook secure and safe. And again, this will be the first video on YouTube showing you this. All the other videos show you what you have to do, but none of them show you how to do it. And now, let's go! First I tell you about the dangers of having your webhooks not secured. The second part I will show you the wrong way to secure it, and in the third part I explain the right way to do it. So if someone finds out the address of your webhook, they are able to call your webhook. If you have a workflow like this, they can call it 1,000,000 times and you have to pay 1,000,000 times the cost of this agent. Or if it is connected to some databases, they might get everything that is inside. So it is important to always secure your webhooks. So this is our webhook. And this is the production URL. And now I hear you asking, hey Peter, how can someone guess this long URL? Well, let me show you. It's very easy. So in Lovable I've created a very simple web page with a button, and when you click on it, it will send the content to the webhook. So it was create a simple page with text input and send it to this webhook. So now let's move it to another screen. So if I type a message here and send it to our webhook, let's see what happens, executions. Okay, it comes in and here is the message, the content, hello. But now, how do they know the address of the webhook? Let me show you. So in Chrome, when you right click, you click on inspect. Then you go to the network tab, nothing happens, refresh our page. And now we type a message and we send it. Here you see the webhook. And if you click on it, here you have the complete URL. And if you click on payload, you see what has been sent, but that's not important for us. So let's start making it secure. So when you go to your webhook, under authentication, there is basic authentication, header authentication, and GWT authentication. In this video, I will only handle the first two ones, because the JavaScript authentication is a bit more complicated and it's a different story. So let's start with the basic authentication. So select this one. So create new credential. The user, I'm gonna take my name and as password Peter123. And save this. And now all the other YouTube videos tell you, you go to Postman and you test it and you will see it will work. But let me show you, this doesn't work. So I ask in Lovable, can you add basic authentication to the webhook call? So as you can see, it added a basic authentication header. And it also gives you a warning, and that will bring us to the next part, but first I will show you what happens. Okay, let's send the message again. Send. Content sent successfully. Let's check our webhook. And here it has arrived. So, hello, me again. So that works perfectly. And here, no error message. But if we click on this one, the webhook is still visible. And you might think, oh, everything is secure. It has been secured with a password and a username. But if you scroll down, here you see authorization. So basic authorization with something like this. Now you may think, oh, this is encrypted, nobody can guess it. So let me copy this. Let's make life easy and go to ChatGPT. Hey, this one is base 64 encoded, can you decode it? And then give him the string and then ask it. So 1 second later, you see the username and the password. So is it secure? No. Okay, now we go to the second method. People on YouTube suggest. Now let's use header authentication. Again, we need to set up credentials for this. Everyone on YouTube suggests use X API key and give it the value. So I have given it the value, you will see later. And now they test it in Postman and then it works. So now let's save this, publish. So I will ask, can you change the authentication to header authentication with the key and the value? Okay. So now it didn't give me any warning. It said, yeah, swap basic authentication for header authentication. Now let's go back to our app. I sent this message. Content sent successfully. I'm sure it will have arrived in our webhook. And now you might think, oh, this is the second option. This might be more secure. Let's check this one. And here, if we scroll down, I'm in the way, so I'm gonna put it here. Here you see X API key Peter 123456. So as you can see, it is extremely easy to bypass all those securities. That is what nobody is telling you. But how to make your webhooks secure? Therefore, you need cloud functions. You can use Google Cloud for it, you can use Azure for it, you can even do it in Supabase, but for this video I will show you how to do it in Google Cloud. You log in into your Google Cloud console and then here you search for Cloud Functions. And you click on Cloud Run. Go to Services. And here you choose Write a Function. So I called mine N8N webhook function. Me, I love to work in Python. I can do it in Node.js, but I prefer Python. That's my preferred language. So I choose the latest version of Python. Here you select Allow Public Access. And then you click on Create. Then you get to this screen. First, under Requirements, you copy and paste this. All the code will be in the description below, so no worries about it. And then under main.py, you can delete this one and then use this function. Also, it will be in the description below. And as you can see, there is no URL or authentication here, but there is a reference to environmental variable, so you cannot see it in your code. If you now click on Save and Deploy, you will get an error message because the function entry point is wrong. So we have this function here, N8N proxy. Copy this one, and this will be the endpoint. So now if you click on Save and Deploy, this can take a few seconds. It's validating everything, see if there are no error messages, if everything is set up correctly. So just be patient. Now you click again on Edit and Deploy New Revision. And here you click on Variables and Secrets. So here you put your variables and secrets. Here our first variable will be N8N URL. And here we copy and paste the production URL. And then new variable. And this is the variable we used in our authentication. And the value of the variable will be basic. So this one we used before. Copy this one. And put the encoded version here. But now let's first go back to our workflow and change the authentication to basic. Publish. And now we go back to our cloud function. And if we click now on deploy, it should be ready to go. So this is now our new endpoint. So copy to clipboard, so copy it, go back to Lovable. And now we ask, can you change the webhook endpoint to the new cloud function? Okay, and now let's see what it gives. Okay, back to our web page. We have removed all the authentication between this web page and N8N, and we are redirecting the traffic to the Google Cloud function, which will handle the authentication and then sends it to N8N. So now let's see what happens. If we send this message, so this is the name of the cloud function, and let's see what happens in our webhook. It arrived. And this is the content we received. So this one seems to work or is working. Now go back to our network. If I click on this one, here you see no passwords or authentication is being sent. The only thing that is being sent is the payload. And the authentication is done in Google Cloud function. If you want to use header authentication, the function will be in the description too. It will be another function, but the same basics. And you have to define the variables the same way as the basic authentication. So this is the way how to secure your webhooks. Let's say this is the first layer of protection. In another video, I will show you some other layers that you can use to protect it even more. So now that you have seen how to secure a single webhook, imagine scaling this across your entire business infrastructure. And that is exactly what we do at Australis. We build end-to-end enterprise-grade automations that not only work, but also are very secure and scalable. If you want us to handle the heavy lifting for you, or if you want a free AI audit, please check the link below in the description or send me an email. My email address is in the description below too. And as always, if you like this video or you learned something, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.